Everyone is a tough guy, right up until 3 ASP cruisers suddenly summon in the rearview mirror. Trooper Loftus was the latest to join this absolute madness on the streets of Little Rock. It might sound like a bad joke, but the driver of a white Chevy sedan was actively terrorizing the city, managing to split 2 ASP units all over a simple speeding ticket. He clearly wanted to impress the hot girlfriend riding shotgun with his getaway skills, but he forgot the golden rule of running from the ASP. These chases almost always end with wet pants and a look of pure disappointment on the girlfriend's face.
Went up to a red light at Dixie. We were in the red light. Traffic's light. Coming up to a red light at East Broadway. We ran it. We were on 165. Looks like he's pulling over. Got a failed TDI at the crossroads. Back in at 165. He's waving his hands out.
Why is he looking out the window? Could be if he didn't just to show their
After surviving several pit maneuvers, the driver decided to play a highly confusing game of mixed signals. He hung his hands out the window like he was waving the white flag, but he kept his foot violently mashed on the gas pedal.
Right, he almost looks like he's got like a signal in the...
The troopers were completely over the fake surrender routine. One final vicious pit maneuver sent the Chevy spinning out and shut the circus down for good. The ASP boys were so heated they skipped the polite door knock and went straight for the drive-through method, literally dragging the suspect headfirst through the driver's side window.
Keep your hands up! Keep your hands up!
His girlfriend got a front row seat to watch her tough guy get yanked out of the car like a sack of potatoes. After tossing the ride, troopers found absolutely zero contraband. He risked lives, wrecked his car, and humiliated himself in front of his girl, all to dodge a basic speeding ticket. Usually Tesla drivers are known for being completely chill, cruising in autopilot and sipping iced coffee, so we really don't get a lot of high-speed pursuit footage out of them. But hey, drugs and booze are a bad thing. Here we have a vehicle literally built to save the planet out here, trying to create absolute chaos on the Arkansas interstate. After dangerously tailgating a semi and swerving all over the road, this driver was completely unaware he was about to meet the most brutal, no-nonsense cops in the entire country. Let this be a lesson to everyone watching. Kids, don't do drugs, and especially don't buy Teslas.
That's mixed signals. They're prescribing drugs every day. And driving. So but you're supposed to listen to your doctor. Right, see how you use your common sense. You know what they meant.
Tesla was pushing over 90 miles per hour and saving the planet with that electric engine. The ASP troopers were right on his bumper, destroying the ecosystem with their roaring V8 engines.
Most wanted, yes. ASP troopers showing mercy.
Copy TBI jump.
After Trooper Shoemate blew a tire attempting multiple pit, Trooper First Class Cash stepped up and delivered a flawless TVI. The chase was over, but the suspect, James Raines, decided to lock his doors and play games. ASP doesn't ask twice. Troopers immediately smashed his driver's side window and violently extracted him from the front seat. Raines was so incredibly intoxicated that he couldn't even process what was happening. He had this blank, distant smile on his face while being dragged out by the troopers.
Down, Crawl the fucking window right now! Crawl the fucking window right now! Get your ass out! Hey, get your fucking ass out! Get your hands on your back, good position!
After blowing a .14 and having a prior DWI already on his record, that smile is going to fade fast as he faces a massive stack of felony fleeing charges. It always feels a bit tragic to watch a high-performance supercar like a Corvette C8 get absolutely shredded, but that's the dark, necessary side of the job for the ASP. Trooper Arellano clocked this runner, hitting a staggering 156 miles per hour, turning the interstate into a wreckage-bound gamble. This wasn't just a simple stop for expired tags. It was a total disregard for the road. The driver, Jaden Smith, clearly thought his machine's raw speed could outrun the inevitable, but he forgot that Arkansas troopers don't care about the price tag of your car. Unleash the raw horsepower of a Corvette C8, a car literally built to outrun police chases. You can disappear in a flash. The driver hammered the throttle, pulling away so fast that Trooper Arellano almost lost hope of finding him. But ASP boys never give up. The trooper pushed his cruiser to the absolute limit, closing a massive gap until he finally locked eyes on the fleeing supercar.
Eastbound on 164. Tires. ground! Get on the fucking ground! Get on the fucking ground! You think I'll fucking run? I'll fucking kill you! Get down!
Honestly, it's almost a crime in itself to fail at outrunning the cops when you're behind the wheel of a C8 Corvette with a massive head start on an open freeway. And that failure was brutally punished by Trooper Arellano. As the crippled supercar limped onto Highway 164, Arellano moved in to deliver a surgical TVI. Jaden Smith suddenly slammed on the brakes in a desperate attempt to dodge the maneuver, resulting in a brutal, metal-crunching collision that completely disabled both vehicles. After a pathetic attempt to flee on foot through a field, Smith dropped his black backpack and surrendered. While being arrested with a bag full of Dodge and Ram key fobs and a stash of marijuana, he arrogantly bragged that he wasn't worried about the wrecked Corvette because he'd just buy another one. He might have cash to burn, but he's about to find out that money can't buy his way out of felony charges. On July 18, 2024, Trooper A. Cass stopped a black sedan going 77 in a 60. The driver claimed she was rushing her child to the doctor but had no license, registration, or insurance, and gave the name Becca Smith. Moments later, she hit the gas and took off, running red lights and blowing through stop signs at nearly 90 miles per hour. The chase moved onto Interstate 430 South, where speeds reached 120 miles per hour. With no signs of stopping, the trooper performed a brutal pit. The car smashed into a guardrail and flipped violently into the median. The impact was violent. The driver was brutally ejected from the car and thrown into the median. Officers rendered aid immediately, but it was too late. She was pronounced dead at the hospital.
I wasn't even watching the TV.
When you live in Arkansas, you aren't truly safe from anyone. Sometimes not even from an ASP cruiser sliding straight into your front lawn. This chaos started when a white Honda clocked at 101 miles per hour on Interstate 530, faked a traffic stop, pulling over briefly before the driver hammered the gas and launched a desperate high-speed escape the exact second the trooper stepped out of his patrol car. As the situation moved off the interstate and straight into the residential streets of Little Rock, more ASP units joined the chaos to hunt down the fleeing Honda, pushing speeds past 110 miles per hour.
What, you want to see people? Let's see if I can get it. What do you think? You just saw this one the other day.
The pursuit was moving so fast that a separate assisting cruiser lost control, missing a sharp turn and parking right in a civilian's yard. The suspect finally ditched the car on foot as Cooper Booth ended the track meet fast, dropping the runner with a flawless taser deployment as he tried scaling the backyard fence. Troopers walked up to the abandoned Honda and found a female passenger and a 2-month-old baby trapped inside. The driver, Rodney Shavers, reeked of alcohol and initially claimed he wasn't driving, before brilliantly refusing the breathalyzer while flat out admitting that he wouldn't take the test because he was already drunk. Between the 110 mile-per-hour speeds of his trapped passengers, Shavers earned a massive stack of charges, including felony child invasion and kidnapping. On October 3rd, 2020, officers in Jonesboro, Arkansas were told the Dollar General had just been robbed. In reality, 37-year-old Lakita Davis had stolen paper towels and energy drinks, but when police tried to stop her silver sedan, she ran, swerving into oncoming traffic and nearly causing head-on crashes.
Hey, The Great Outdoors is free on YouTube. You want to watch it with me? Okay, but I changed my mind. I don't want to watch that right now. Best of Times. Best of Times is a good one. Want to watch Best of Times? I love that movie. It's a good movie. I've probably seen that movie at least 100 times. Okay, to be fair, probably at least 30. I've seen that movie at least 30 times in my lifetime. You know, that's how many hours is that? It's like 60 hours almost of my lifetime of watching the movie Best of Times. I can think of a lot of movies and different shows that I had watched quite a few times. That's a big chunk of my viewing history. I definitely probably watched this at least 30 times. I just like this movie. It's a good movie. Have you ever seen it? It's called The Best of Times. It's a Gordon Carroll production. Robin Williams and Kurt Russell. It's a fantastic movie. It's one of my favorites. No, on the real though, I've seen that movie a lot, probably at least 20 to 30 times, yeah. It's been many years since I've seen it. We might have watched it actually. I think we did watch it probably 5 or 6 years ago in one of the classes. I think we watched it. Or we watched some scenes from it at the very least. But we might have watched the whole movie. I know we definitely watched some scenes at the very least. Yeah, it was like 5 or 6 years ago in class. We were watching movies together. with our pen pals from around the world. Yeah, it's something we've done pretty much our whole lives, yeah. It's strange when people are like, they're talking to terrorists! Like, dude, I just suggested fucking less meat and dairy for their poor little intestinal tracts that are fucking overtaxed because they eat fucking meat 3 times a day. Slim Jims. Here, have some fucking ham and sausage for breakfast. Here, have a burger for lunch. Here, have a steak for supper. I mean, it's like, you want to give them a break? Did you know that it takes like 8 to 12 hours to digest meat, and it only takes about 2 to 4 hours to digest vegetable, plant-based, sometimes less, like an hour or 2, depending on your system and what it is, right? Yeah, I think the water content and stuff. Does your food digest faster if you drink more water with it? I think, but not with it. Not with it. I think you want to do it at least an hour before or after eating. If you drink more water. I think that does help with your digestion. Pretty sure. I don't know. Oh yeah, it is. It's weird. They're psychotic, dude. I think they just look for right, because you see the same thing across the board with other people. They just make it an issue if they want to, right? It's kind of like anything else, right? A behavior. Drinking. Well, as long as you drink responsibly, it's okay. No, totally refrain from it. Okay, so we just won't even talk about it because they don't agree. One's like, we need to teach him to drink responsibly, and there's others that are like, nope, totally refrain. I had drunk uncles that beat and raped me. Okay. So what? Yeah, a lot of us, that was normal back then, right? What are you talking about? You're psychotic. I know, they're mental. They're fucking psychotic mental pieces of shit. Take your fucking pills, pack it up, and get the fuck out of here. Just a friendly suggestion. They know who they are. They know who the fuck they are. Many of them have already left. Yeah, that's a good one too. And we've watched that one a few times in class. That one I've seen so many times, probably more than best of times, so I definitely don't want to watch that one. I mean, we could do a skit if you want to. I know the whole thing by heart. We can perform it for you, but I definitely don't want to watch it again. If you'd like us to perform it for you. Seen it enough. Well, isn't it great you have the option? You have the choice. You can go fucking watch the movie on your own time. Go ahead, play it. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Right, or we can perform it for you. It's your choice. You can watch our performance, or you can watch the free movie on YouTube. Did you know Russia pounded Kiev with missiles and drones after Ukraine strike on oil? What do I have against what? Oh, ours. I don't have anything against ours. Why? What? Whoever told you that? You're just going by what you hear. I can understand you basing that off of that. Want to watch Clueless Criminal Interrogations? Cop finds husband's murdered family in his van. Like something right out of a horror movie, huh? Oh my God. Becky, look at her butt. It is so big. She's like one of those rap guys' girlfriends.
What you're looking at here is evil incarnate, Michael Wayne Jones, who wiped out his entire family and went on the run.
Jones was later found in Georgia with his wife's body in his car after he got into a crash. They say he beat her to death with a baseball bat.
After police discovered his wife's decomposed body in his car, a grisly chain of events will lead to one question no one really wants answers to. What pushed a seemingly loving family man to such gruesome extremes?
What was your goal?
On September 16, 2019, in Brantley County, Georgia,
did someone
police
be so
discovered the
sick to
badly
even do
decomposed
that
body of
anyway?
32-year-old Casey Jones in her husband's car
Anybody
with
who
no
knows
sign of her
about
4
that.
children. 38-year-old Michael Wayne Jones wiped out his entire family over the course of several weeks. Now, detectives must piece together a twisted timeline and uncover how these lives were taken and hidden until it was already too late.
Actually, police, like, we had a recliner in the living space and grabbed after the bat. And kind of, brought it back in the other way. I took it and I just hit her and just kept in. Let's see what you're having fun with. Let's see what I get there. Cool. Okay. Let's see some water along. Was there anybody else there that you know something? The kids. All 4 kids? They're asleep. Where did they sleep at? They laid on the bedroom. And then, the 2-year-olds, sleeping in the living room. Area. I've been to the house for but when I walk in the front door, obviously you walk in and you don't get there.
Alright, we have a few people in class. Alright, we'll watch this one later. No, they don't want to watch this one. It makes them sick. Yeah, it's hard to stomach, huh? Pretty sad. How could anybody do that to anybody? Be the person they had children with a baseball bat and killed his kids too. I know, it's amazing. You would think eventually you get to the end of those stories, but it's endless, huh? It seems when you look at a lot of those things, like stuff that's like, wow, very rare, right? Stuff you wouldn't hear of too often. When does it start to spike? Right, and when we explain these things and what was going on with our state workers and Maine Parent Federation and other Catholic charities and things like that, organizations, yeah, it should be so sickening to you. Yeah, you should want to throw up and then do what you can to help these hostages and children in the hands of these very sick people that like to fucking torture, beat little children. What the fuck? Yeah, unfucking believable. I think she probably fucking caught him abusing those kids. Yeah, we've seen that sometimes. And there are cases where they've been able to prove that to themselves. You can't in a court of law because it's not submissible, right? Yeah, just as far as like sometimes listening devices, or sometimes people have cameras in their places, whether they know it or not. Yeah, so it's been in some of these cases where it's like, yeah, okay, that just happened. Can't prove it in court. You can't even submit that. They don't even know it exists. There was a time, right? Remember back in the 90s and 80s when a lot of that stuff was first being implemented, body cameras. I know, and it's interesting too when you look at like 9/11 and the connection with those fundraising companies connected to the Catholic networks and how they were raising money for police and firefighters and special needs children, and how that's connected to the drug trafficking lines. New England, I-95. I mean, it doesn't take, when you start putting that together and understanding and coming down to earth, and stop listening to rhetoric of China this and these forces that, and yeah, I mean, anyone that's speaking like that, mind controlled, MK Ultra, you're just not aware, or you're being heavily watched for doing things you shouldn't, which a lot of people are, fraud, drugs, whatever. Or you're just involved. A lot of your close friends are sick fucks and you're blindly protecting them. Yeah, I mean, that happens all the time with these cases, and you can see that. We named them specifically. Ukraine, Wuhan, Iran. We just named a bunch of the organizations. Right, when you look at Jones, Rogan, all these big names with connections and administrations, political people they may be connected to, just different lines in drug trafficking and what they've been doing and talking about and focusing over the years. Pyramids, flat earth, psychedelics. Yeah, when you look at the interviews they do and don't do. Right, I mean, is there a divine kind of, or is it just patterns and behaviors of people involved with those things? It's not like they're trained. Is it programming, or is it just... Right, kind of like that squealing we were talking about the other day. Me and Robbie, we were laughing because that squeal I make sometimes when I can't just let out when he jump scares me sometimes, and I try to hold it in and it makes a squeal. It's almost autonomous. It's like I'm not even doing it. It's like break squealing. Yeah, like burning, the opposing pressure of like me trying to, right, the scream trying to come out, but then me holding it back. It's like hitting the brakes. Yeah, right. Right, so over the years, when you listen to what we've been talking about, those people are heavily connected to shows like what? Jackass, X Factor, Real World. Yeah. Rachel on Fox News, yeah, she was on Real World. Wasn't she in the crew with Puck, who stuck his finger in the peanut butter? I know, that's like was one of the big deals, right? That got them popular. I think, wasn't she the one that threw a fit about it? I don't know, it was one of them in there. Yeah, I remember that. Not too many people cared for her. Everyone thought she was an annoying bitch. Everyone I knew that watched the show anyways, not too many people even watched the show. I think sometimes you just took a peek or a look. It was always like, oh, do people fucking really live like that? The fuck? No wonder this fucking place is going to shit. I know, and when your community's a breezeway of drugs that are being trafficked to those places, and then you see how they fucking act, and then you look at what's going on in those communities. I know, it's sad. I know, when you think of that and you get into like different areas, you have like the Bible Belt area, Midwest Coast. Isn't that by the triangles there? I remember back in the 90s, a lot of people were killed heading out to Cali to do the grow ops. I know, and I remember when some of the investigators were just bringing that up, and they're like, oh, what, are we supposed to feel bad for some hitchhikers? They shouldn't have done that then. It was a little bit deeper than that, like certain drug lines and traffickers of, right, when you think of Epstein Island and what we've been talking about, Oprah photographers that were right out here in our hometown out in Whitefield. It's about 20 minutes up the road. Now you just got to go up Route 17. If you go up Route 17, you'll head past Togus, the Veterans Hospital. You'll be getting into Chelsea, and then it goes like Windsor, Whitefield. It used to be Cooper's Mills. Part of Whitefield was Cooper's Mills. Actually, growing up, our house, we were Cooper's Mills. And then when 9/11 came around in the 90s, we were changed to Route 218. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of busts out there, huh? Chinese grow ops, fentanyl. I just like the smell. Right, I mean, there's a lot of factors and stuff when you start thinking of these lines and sales groups and the crimes associated to it. I know, you're just a user, not an abuser. I know, a lot of people are just users, not abusers. And those punks and other people usually throw all the users under the bus when shit starts to hit the fan. They don't want to, but if people start sniffing and a whiffing, someone's got to be arrested. They're doing investigations. Where are the arrests being made for these drugs? Right, remember in 2009 too, when the private investigator was bringing up concerns about the trafficking line, specifically the Mayan trafficking line, which David Wilcock talked about a lot, ironically. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for mentioning that. Hold on 1 second. But yeah, anyways, in 2009, it was right around the time he shot himself. Officer Liberty had put an article in the paper. I think the activists and people were, I don't know for what reason. There was a reason. I'm sure someone asked him to. I don't know. It could have been all on his own volition. I have no idea. I don't even know. No idea. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Nobody did anything wrong. We're just saying how these things perpetuate and motivate others. It gives a time stamp too, right? It helps. It's almost like a documented piece of evidence in a way. So we're actually really glad. We got a copy of it right here. Yeah, someone had given us a copy of it on a certain kind of paper. Yeah, I'll show it to you. I'll dig it out later. I'm busy. And you can look up the article yourself. You already did? You want to see the paper, the print on the paper? It was like, oh my god, it's like green. It had like brown bubbly stuff on it. I'll find it for you. Yeah, it was a computer paper. Yeah, someone had given it to me. Why? I know. It's like, okay. Right, no big deal. Just because. Just FYI. Nothing bad, nothing good, nothing to fear, nothing to be proud about. That's for sure. I know some people seem to think it's something to be proud about. I know, wow. Really sad when a lot of society and our news people aid and abet some of these sick fucks. I know, when they do the drugs themselves and profit from the other dangerous drugs, the ones from the street and the prescription drugs. All drugs that they all fucking profit from. And they're attacking marijuana smokers and non-vaxxers. Huh. Yeah, this is so fucking disturbing. I'm not really sure where else to go with that, folks. Yeah, when you're dealing with a bunch of drunk drivers that are so oblivious to reality, it's pretty scary and traumatizing to a lot of people, especially when you're aware of the abuse of a lot of these children and the trafficking of the microchips. What's that? Oh, you want me to finish? Oh, yeah, back in the 90s when people, what was happening was certain areas out there, I think they called it the Orange Triangle, right? Right, where people were going out, a lot of the grow-ops and Jerry Garcia fans. I know, my dad made fun of some of them, and they got upset. They said as they left the town because of mean people like him. I know some of them wound up dead. I know, hitchhiking to California to go trim marijuana. True story. I don't remember, they were at the store. There was a few different groups. I don't think it was one of them. I think that was a different one you're thinking of. Yeah, I remember that one. Oh my gosh, were they upset? Because they said Jerry Garcia just died. So what year was that? Let's see. '95. So I would have been about 13. Yeah, I remember this very well. Yeah, so this was around the time Mr. King, remember, he passed away, and they had been pissed off. Some of the same ones, they were pissed off that Mr. King was letting them hang their dead deers at the store to weigh them, and they did raffles every year to who got the heaviest deer. Well, to be fair, I mean, it was right by where you had to walk into the store with a big fucking spotlight. Deer's hanging there, dripping blood, like, let's go get our ice cream, kids. I mean, nobody thought anything of it. It was normal for out there. I never remember really too many people complaining. Except for some of the activists and granolas, had Mom called them. She called them granolas. With their armpit hair and... I know. She pissed them off. And then Dad pissed off some of the other ones. Because they said Jerry Garcia just died. Because they were crying. And he said, what the hell's the matter with you? And they said Jerry Garcia just passed away. And he goes, who the fuck is Jerry Garcia? They were fucking pissed. They were so fucking pissed. For real. How much does that skunk cheese weigh? If you guess how much that skunk cheese weigh, you get it for free. You get it for free. You guess how much the skunk cheese weigh, you get for free. I don't know anything about the deers or Jerry Garcia. Just please, guess how many jelly beans are in the jar. How many jelly beans are Remember the skunk cheese? If the deer hanging there wasn't enough, he had this big thing of skunk cheese on top of the deli in that big cake case. If you guess, everybody, it was another thing you could guess. Yeah, I'm being serious. You could guess how much the skunk cheese weighed. Wow. Country Corners out in Whitefield. That might have been the year Mr. King passed away too. It was about that same year, yeah, 95. I miss him. He was such a cool teacher. What do I miss? Here we go with that. I know it's a whole class on. He's with us in spirit, so what do we miss? Alright, we can think about those things. We laugh, it's like they're almost here. Sometimes we imitate those of the past, bring back their characters and energy. I know, we get some Rodney Dangerfield ones in class. They do Rodney Dangerfield really good. Eight hours ago, so I just googled Jerry Garcia. 8 hours ago on Instagram, someone posted. Oh, because their name is Jerry Garcia on Instagram. I'm Uncle Sam. That's who I am. Been hiding out in a rock and roll band. Gene Anthony. It's on the, I just googled Jerry Garcia and it was down next to his picture. Someone just posted something on Instagram and their name's Jerry Garcia. So it came up in the search results. I'll take a picture of it for you. Is Jerry Garcia? But oh yeah, anyway, sorry. The investigators are like, again, she fucking went off the course a little bit. Their point was back in those days when they were trying to bring up certain people that were getting killed or disappearing, kind of being enticed with the come to California, you know, trim all the marijuana you want, smoke for free. Some of those places you had to be naked, right? So you couldn't steal nothing. It eliminates theft. It's for fraud and prevention. I mean, it's not a requirement if you want to work there, yeah. You don't. It's your choice. You don't have to. No one's forcing you to work there, right? Sound familiar? But yeah, so I remember when they were trying to bring up some of those trafficking lines, drugs, people disappearing, snuff films, some of the same things. Right now, we would have been about, 5 years later, about 5 years later, find ourselves working for the fundraising company connected to some of these drug traffickers and snuff film markets. It's amazing we made it out of those woods, huh? I know some of them look like they seen a ghost, huh? I think even they were surprised too. That would have been that one. That was right before 9/11. There, those snowmobile trails. Yep, I remember that. That was a bad one. Anyways, so they were bringing up 95 around that time. I know. I remember the AIDS quilt, and I mean all this stuff was going on and getting spiked. People were trying to bring up concerns with the vaccines causing cancer. I know, as a 13-year-old, it was kind of hard to encompass a lot of that. I think because I had read a lot of books and seen a lot of movies and had some really good teachers and watchers. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for that. And they try to stop that, you know. Yeah, no, they don't like it. Oh, you got a problem with people being on probation? Right, it's, what do they call it? Supervised probation. Yes, I mean, some are on it before they come out the womb just because of their families' associations. I think we've explained that. You can see something and you can say something. We've learned. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. I didn't see nothing. I saw something. Bite your tongue, you are out of line. Oh, my name's Mary, but it's okay. But yeah, so when they were trying to bring up some of the murders and concerns with some of those same things, yeah. This is the Tom Green Show. This is my favorite show because it is my show. It's the Tom Green Show. She's telling the dog, knock it off. Knock it off. Tom Green Show first aired in 99. No, 94. Tom Green Show, made its debut in 94. Before being picked up by the network, it had originally produced and aired the show in Canada, local cable, and the Comedy Network, starting in 94. So that would have been like their PBS. He took a hiatus in 2000 after being diagnosed with testicular cancer. So the peanut butter, the infamous peanut butter episode in the real world, that was 1994. It's 94. And it is season 3, episode 2, Love Stinks, of The Real World, San Francisco out in Cali. The controversial cast member, David Puck Rainey, grosses out his roommates, most notably AIDS activist Pedro Zamora, by dipping his unwashed fingers directly into the communal peanut butter jar. So, you're wrong. It wasn't Rachel that was the most upset. It was the AIDS activist, Pedro Zamora. Thank you for correcting us on that. I love it when people do that. Prove us wrong, man. Prove us wrong. Please be my guest. So yeah, they were just saying how, back in those days, trying to bring out the concerns with the murders and people being enticed to go out that way, how they cover it all up with their bullshit, and then they make commercials with Betty White, the dog activist. Come to California, Arnold Schwarzenegger, come to California. It's like, I'm the governor. What year was Arnold governor? It wasn't that long ago, was it? 2003. He served as the 38th governor of California from 2003 to 2011. He was first elected in a historic recall election in October of 2003, sworn into office on November 17, 2003, and served until January 3rd, 2011. You can read more about his administration on the National Governors Association. It's a profile, or explore his tenure via the California State Library. His wife, interesting, remember Maria Shriver and the whole debacle with the maid and stuff? I know, they're nasty fucking people, dude. Mercury in the tuna! The mercury's in the tuna. Back in the 70s, there was 1970. Mercury and tuna debate exploded in the public consciousness in 1970. In December of that year, a university chemist tested store-bought cans and discovered methyl mercury levels far exceeding U.S. safety limits, promoting the U.S. and Drug Administration, FDA, to pull nearly 1 million cans from store shelves. Recall. Is it a new pollution? Many scientists and environmentalists argued that the industrial runoff and coal-fired power plants were heavily concentrating mercury in the world's oceans, raising levels in predatory fish like tuna. Is it naturally occurring? The seafood industry and some researchers pointed to the fact that mercury occurs naturally in the Earth's crust via volcanic and deep ocean hydrothermal activity, and that tuna have historically carried high mercury loads. In the early 1970s, studies on preserved museum tuna caught between 1878 and 1909 showed mercury levels comparable to modern catches, suggesting the metal was largely natural. A distraction to not look at the... Right. And when you look back, too, I mean, in that year, 1970... Concerns about mercury in vaccines center on Thermosol, a mercury-based preservative used to prevent dangerous bacterial and fungal combination. in multi-dose vials. While toxic at high doses, the ethylmercury used in vaccines is processed and eliminated by the body much faster than the methylmercury found in fish. Methylmercury, the environmental toxin found in the body, certain fish, in the food supply, the environmental toxin found in the food supply, certain fish, that can accumulate and harm the developing brain. This type has never been used in vaccines. Ethylmercury, the type used in Thermosol, is broken down quickly by the human body and does not accumulate in dangerous levels. In 1999, the U.S. Public Safety Service and the American Academy of Pediatrics recommended reducing or eliminating Thermosol in childhood vaccines as a precautionary measure. This was done to reduce overall mercury exposure for infants, not because evidence showed the vaccines levels were unsafe. Right, I mean, it's a total distraction and farce from what was actually being right. I mean, the concerns with vaccines in general. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people back in those days in the 70s were, fighting the same fight. Like, duh, are you people crazy? Like, of course, diseases are being eradicated in these areas, not from the vaccines, but because we're getting proper food storage temperatures, clean water, whatever, different stuff. Yeah, the vaccines are total bullshit, and they cause cancer and a lot of other horrible illnesses. Yeah, I wouldn't get them if I were you. I know, it's fascinating. There's a lot of information there. We're going to head over to the next class, so we kind of went a little longer with that than we expected. But so many interesting articles being sent over there in the Dropbox if you want to check those out. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I sure hope so. Any other questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions? I know you all know the drill. Just we get a lot of new people in class every day, yeah. Mm-hmm.